what does everybody think's going to happen? Eventually, you have to.
Right.
And
we're halfway. We're halfway at this point to what I think. We're halfway. So, yeah, it's starting to get ugly. That's just the name of the game. Welcome to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
What up, challenge fans? We are Final Alliance Podcast. We just finished watching episode 5 of the Challenge USA titled In Tyson We Trust. You trust Tyson? How do you feel about that?
No, I mean, come on. I mean, I've talked enough about Tyson. I will say this. I'm happy that I can trust the producer that they don't cut to him talking about how he was a Division I swimmer in this. Clearly, they could have, because the majority of this is in the water.
Swimming.
But no, you don't trust. You don't trust him. And I think the beauty of this is how much we know that they will take you there. If they'll show you where they're going.
Yep.
And right away, you're like, see, we're
happening.
This.
It's happening.
Yep. They will take you there. This episode, they clearly will take you there. It
was, yeah.
Blatantly, like just pay attention to where they're going. And I know I always use the word foreshadowing, but I think the one thing here is they will take you there where the episode's going if you.
They sure did.
But yeah, Tyson. No, you can't trust Tyson. But
I will say this was a better use of quote unquote America term, since they've been going with that theme for episode titles and putting someone's name in it. In Tyson We Trust, not a bad idea for a title.
Oh, I can
versus
agree with that, yeah.
Like when they did like Oh Say Can You See Tiffany? That was a terrible episode title.
Yeah.
Like this is a little bit better.
Yeah.
So props to them for better episode title.
I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Episode starts, obviously, we've got this perfect algorithm, as our man TJ mentions.
What is the deal with that?
I don't know. He's really down for telling us it's a perfect algorithm.
Yeah.
Do you think he's like, at this point, just kind of being facetious about it?
Gotta be. It's got to be tongue-in-cheek, being like, you all know, like, the producers are doing this. Like, it's got to be a tongue-in-cheek thing. Like, it's a perfect algorithm.
Perfect algorithm.
Don't know what to tell you guys. And, I mean, he bookends the episode at the start of the episode and the end of the episode with the perfect algorithm. So it's got to be tongue-in-cheek. Like, do you guys get this yet? Are we breaking the fourth wall to the people watching too? Like, it is not a perfect algorithm. The producers can put whoever they want depending on what's going to happen. So I think it's a tongue-in-cheek thing. And I think he said it maybe if you go back, and there's plenty of people that can go back and watch these episodes. I'm not one of them. But if you go back, if you did on the first one, did he say it's a perfect algorithm?
I don't know that he did.
Did he do on the second? I feel like he might have.
Yes.
Third. You did third. Yeah, because you did second on your own. I did third on my own, and we did fourth and fifth together. Because you did. Yeah, you had to have.
I did the All Stars finale on my own.
Oh,
okay. We did episode 1 together. So we didn't do episode 1.
I think the perfect comes up about episode 3.
Yeah.
And I think it's a tongue-in-cheek to be like,
gotta be.
Yeah,
they all know. Come on, let's be real. You know,
I mean, everyone knows.
I was very fortunate today because last week, remember when TJ was going through the teams, we had to like keep pausing because we, as you guys know, we watch together, then immediately we come film the podcast. So last week I had to, constantly pause to write down the names of the teams. And this week I was able to, via social media, figure out 6 of the teams because they were all posting on their Instagram, Twitter, whatever.
Okay.
So that was really helpful. I appreciated that.
Yeah, you mentioned that before the show, but I didn't know where you were going with that. But okay.
So the only ones I didn't have pre that were like, those that really don't do their social media, like End Zone or End Zone.
No, I mean like, okay.
Enzo, Ben, Leo, Dom. Those were the ones that I didn't have.
Oh, okay. I thought you definitely were going to say David, like, because he's.
Oh no, David uses his social media.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Or no, Alyssa does, and that was his, so
gotcha,
it was like either their counterpart.
Shout out to Alyssa for retweeting us last week.
Yeah, that was so nice of her.
I appreciate her. Yeah.
Thanks for retweeting us. Although the consensus from our YouTube last week was that we got it wrong. She didn't win the episode.
Oh, that's fine. That's what that's for.
Exactly. So yeah. That's cool. We appreciate you commenting. Let us know when we get it wrong.
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm gonna swing and miss at whoever won this episode too, because I really don't know right now. I thought about that long and hard after the episode, and I don't know. But after the recap, I will probably come up with something. But yeah.
So the teams are Tyson and Kashay, Cinco and Azza, Dom and Desi, Danny and Angela, David and Alyssa, Kyland and Shannon, Leo and Sarah, Ben and Justine, Enzo and Kira, and and Derek and Kayla.
Yeah.
10 teams. So at this point, I mean, we're on episode 5. This has got to be only a 10 episode season, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think by you put that together. I think so. Not a lot. I mean, we get early, so after we get the perfect algorithm, there's game talk from
it
here.
Goes straight into the next morning. We think people working out, talking. I was hoping it would be like a party night.
Well, you right away as soon as my ears perked up because you're like, oh, they're going out because it
was dark.
They made it seem like it was, and I'm like, great, we're finally gonna have game talk. And
it's not happened since episode 1.
Yeah, and so like you said it, and I'm like, yes, like absolutely. And then it's like the dark, and it goes. They're doing yoga. I don't care.
Love that y'all work out, but like, come on, I want to see some fun too.
I really enjoy it. I really enjoy that the physical education teacher's like, I love that you guys are working out. Everybody work out. And I'm like the one that's being like, I want to see you guys party it down or whatever else.
Let's take a moment on that adorable previously on the challenge from Dom and Shannon. They were like sword fighting.
Yeah.
And then she like takes him down.
Yeah.
It was so cute. I loved it. I find her just adorable. I find her adorable.
That's the word you used here. That was adorable. I was like, all right, I don't know what's going on here. But
and this
I don't know who she is, but yeah.
I think she's great. And we didn't see her much today other than that, but that was adorable. And I liked that we got to see Dominic in a kind of lighter.
Yes, that's true.
You know what I mean? Because normally it's just him sitting around looking kind of paranoid in the house.
Yeah, and saying dumb things or whatever else. And saying how great he's going to be, but then also not.
So I'm like, okay, he's got a playful side. Nice to see. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got this morning workout, and then it goes to several people talking, strategizing in small groups.
Mm-hmm.
With essentially just with their new partner.
Did they go into small groups, or did we go straight into Kashay talking about what?
Oh no, we'll get there.
Okay,
I'll walk you through it.
Yeah.
So Derek and Kayla are talking. They're like,
right.
look, like we could be a big target. # don't get last.
Mm-hmm.
Ben is braiding Sarah's hair because he's got daughters, and I thought that was cute.
That's not you said that. That's not that big of a deal.
I think it's adorable.
I know, but you're like, that's like, and he's in the end, she was like, does it have to be this big braid? And he's like, do you have to have
it wasn't about the braid. It was about the hair tie being like wrapped around so many times. And he's like, you could have given me a smaller hair tie.
Yeah. I know. It's not. It just.
He's on my fantasy team.
Okay, I know.
So I feel a certain way about him. He also kind of looks like one of Charlie's friends that I really like. So like, good. It just kind of like makes me feel close to him, even though like we've seen almost nothing of him.
Yeah.
You ever have that? Where
I know,
you, like,
but
see someone that looks like somebody.
It is very nice. It really is, and it does.
It shows a tenderness.
It does hit the heart. But I was like, I've braided hair over 200 times easily. But I still don't know how to like do a French braid or whatever else. It's just like
it's hard. Me either.
They get out of you have kids. This is what happens. What happens? Oh, they have to have they're younger. They have to get their hair brushed and they have to have a braid in. Someone's got to do it. So learn how to do it, or just it's not that tough.
But it was a cute, tender moment.
Yes, I guess. And you're just like, oh, that's adorable. I'm like, oh, Jesus, it's not a big deal. It's like a Tuesday.
Is that something that is like par for the course for dads?
It should
dads
be.
Of girls?
It should be.
Like, I'm curious. Let us know. Like, is that par for the course for dads of girls? Like, you braid their kids' hair. It's not a big deal.
It should be. But it's not.
Or not necessarily
it's not par for the course.
Of girls, but like kids with long hair.
Okay. But it should be. And I would say, I would hope that there's always going to be, and I don't want to go too often, there's going to be some like dumb dude out there that's like, I never changed a diaper. That's not my role in the family. And like, you're an idiot. And the same one, like, I don't need to brush your hair or whatever. And I did, honestly, and tell you a quick story, because I always do this. I did have one time where my daughter now she's 12 now, but she was much younger. And I had a buddy I've known for years. Great dude, has 2 daughters, but I don't even know if he had his daughters in. And he was just over at the house. She got done with the bath, and he's like, what are you doing? And I was like, brushing her hair and braiding her hair. And he goes, guys don't braid hairs. And I was like, this one does. So I've heard it, but I think the majority probably should know how to do it. We live in a a pretty decent world where we can evolve.
I love it. I think that's great. It's not an experience I've had, so I'm just curious. And
good for Ben is long story short, good job, Ben.
Absolutely. Kashay and Cinco then are talking. As we know, they were together. They loved each other. They broke up. Doesn't sound like that long before the show started. And she's just kind of speaking to him about how, it's hard to see him flirt with other people because she still cares about him. He had also said, and she said, she had not talked to him for a couple days before that because she just didn't know how to handle things. So Cinco says in his interview, all right, so you didn't talk to me for a couple days and now you're telling me this and I don't know how I'm supposed to react to that.
And he's right. He's 100% correct. You can't just throw mixed signals and be like, but now I want to talk to you or whatever else. He is 1,000% correct.
Yes, but I can't imagine being in a breakup and then having to be that close with someone that quickly. I mean, obviously they knew what they signed up for. They obviously probably
I'm glad you said that they knew what they signed up for.
They probably knew that the both of them were going to be on the show and this was going to happen. But seeing it is hard.
Yeah, if one's not over the breakup, it's hard. The other one's like, hey, we broke up. He's like, yeah, we spent time together. We got to know each other. And that's what Cinco said. He's like, yeah, we spent some time together. But if one's not over the breakup, but you can't sit there and be like, well, I'm just over the breakup. I'm just going to ignore you. But now I want to sit down and talk to you. It doesn't work that way. Now I'm ready to talk to you. And I want to talk game. And he's like, huh?
I think I get that thought process. I do. But to me, say we were together, we broke up, and I didn't talk to you for a couple days. I would be I feel like I need to explain myself. So I didn't talk to you a couple of days. Here's why. Take it or leave it. Do you know what I mean?
I think
to explain it.
In just this 13 seconds, you were more eloquent than how Kashay came across this whole thing about it. She was just like, "Now I want to talk to you," and she didn't say "Can I?" And I'm sorry, I know the editing is the way it is,
right?
But
we didn't see everything.
I highly doubt that she was like, "Can we sit down and talk?" And I know that I might have been a little childish, I didn't know how to handle myself, so I didn't talk to you for 2 days. But this is I get the feeling this is common. They've been there for a while. It's not like this is the first time she hasn't talked to him 2 days. I mean, she tried to orchestrate getting rid of Tiffany because she didn't like that she was hanging out with Cinco.
Right.
I feel like this is an off and on, and that's not fair to Cinco. I don't know. We don't know the editing.
True.
But that's where I took it as where I was like, he's right. You can't just do that. You can't just be like, well, now I want to talk to you.
Right.
And so the relationship is, we had a relationship, but we are working together somehow in this house at some point, and we're trying to figure it out. I don't really want to vote you out. This is your dream.
Right. First I love that he said it was his dream. People grow up watching The Challenge. So I get that being his dream.
So it's not her dream, but I don't know. She's like, it's your dream. I don't trust this Kashay girl. Sorry. I don't trust her tear. I don't trust her single tear that came down at all at the end.
Oh, I like her.
Oh,
I do. And she's really adorable on her Instagram. She's just charming as heck. And I think she's the star. She's the star. She's only no offense to anybody else. People are bringing things, but she's the only one that's bringing constant storylines, which I appreciate. Storylines that aren't game, which we need those. So something that's not the game, I appreciate that. And I appreciate her.
I can recognize that. She's realizing that in the production
making a TV show.
You're making a TV show. I can recognize that, and I can give you a thumbs up to that and say yes, that's a good call, because it is very, very true, because you are making a TV show and there has to be some type of drama to it whatsoever. But I can't lie, and I don't know how far, if I'm jumping ahead, you let me know you have it. But when she says this is where am I? This is my journey, and it's kind of when they're in the swimming challenge, and we'll get to the challenge. And she's like, what is my life? How am I here? And all I can think of is I don't know how you're here, Kashay. That's a great question. We're all wondering why you're here. And she's like, what is this journey? And I don't know either how you got here. I have no idea why you're casted, but we're all asking.
do.
We're all asking the same things that you're asking right now.
She has performed, I think, middle mostly. This week, obviously,
okay,
not her strength.
Yeah, let's not get into this week yet.
But yeah, she was cast because she has charisma.
Fair. Okay.
And also on her Insta, she be working out a lot. Girl's getting ready. I hope there's season 2.
Well, there's going to be other seasons because TJ has let us know that there'll be a world championship streaming live
on Paramount Plus.
So, again. So sorry to move too far ahead if I did.
Oh, no, we didn't. It's cool. Tyson and Sarah are talking about Ben. They kind of say, like, we got to corral Ben because Ben is being seemingly a little bit jealous about Tyson's wins. And he's mentioned it a couple times, but like, and this is where Sarah says, like, don't bamboozle me.
And I won't bamboozle you.
There was another bamboozle in there.
Unless you bamboozle me, then good for you. That's what it was. It was, don't bamboozle me and I won't bamboozle you. Unless you bamboozle me, then you got me.
So should this episode title be Bamboozled?
Absolutely. Like
Bamboozled with a 3 in the corner, cubed.
Cubed.
Bamboozle. Bamboozle.
What happened right
cubed.
there? We just looked at each other and go, someo's getting bamboozled. It was like that easy. It's like
immediately we're like,
okay.
So someone's getting
here we go.
We get into the challenge. They all arrive by boat into the muddy water. It looks like the Mississippi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Challenge is called Barreled Treasure. Now, this challenge had multiple steps. I had to pause it because I was like, wait, what? Yeah. They got to jump from, I don't know, a platform of some sort or a dock, swim 150 yards, pardon me, then memorize a code that's at a buoy, swim 75 yards to a cargo ship, search for the barrel that has their code. There's 2 barrels with their codes. If you're wrong, you got to go back to the last buoy. There's puzzle pieces in your barrel. Take those with you. Go back to where you started. And then you got to do it again. Yep. Then you got to put the puzzle together.
That's right.
And it's a very similar, very familiar looking puzzle to any challenge fan. It's a square. It's got, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 pieces. What do they call it? They call it a tanagram?
I'm just saying.
I forget what that's called. I apologize if I got that wrong. But very familiar for challenge fans puzzle.
And if you pull up the wrong thing, you got to go back. You already said that. But the thing about this is how you just described it was 1,000 times better than how TJ did.
Dude, I was so confused.
TJ was like, this would like give you directions to like Whitey's down the street. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to take 3 lefts in a row. And you're like, 3 in a row. So, and then he's like, yep. Then you're going to 2 city blocks and I want you to go another left. And you're like, okay, another left. And then once you get to that left, it's going to be stop sign, and then take another left. And then you go, wait, I just did a complete circle. And he's like, no. Then if you don't get to the Whitey's, you have to start it all over again. Like, I just got to my front door again because I just did the 4 lefts. How am I going to get there? That's how crazy that description was.
Very confusing. And what I noticed with this was the puzzle pieces were certain colors. Mm-hmm. So I wondered if everybody had a designated color because it seemed like right away when people opened the wrong barrel, they were like, oops, I opened the wrong barrel.
Yeah, we'll get there. Only a producer had to tell them.
So maybe that wasn't
you can't touch it. I mean, Alyssa's like doing this, and I don't know why she was doing it because it's not like you couldn't touch it. You just couldn't open it.
Realistically, I would have been like that too.
I probably would have also.
And the codes were all pretty, they all said easy. It might have been a 6-digit code, but it would be like 001011. But
let's talk about how hard this was for other people and everything else. Oh, I forgot about something else. As this is going on, this really, really bothered me. I don't know why this bothered me, but it really bothered me. As TJ's explaining this thing at some point, the whole thing, and TJ doing it. And before he's like, do you guys get it? Before he says, like, are you guys all good? David says 100%. And I was like, that triggered me. Because that's like me telling, like, I'm telling my kids, like, hey, I need you to do, let's just say X, Y, and Z. We're going to do this. And like, out of nowhere, my son's like, yep, got it. And I was like, I was not done. You do not get it. You do not. I can tell you right now, you didn't listen to anything I just said. And now I'm really upset. And now I have to start all over again. And he's like, yep, you bet. I'm like, don't reply again until I'm done talking. And that's what he did. He's like, 100%. Because when you rewound it a second time, you go through it again, and he starts going through the directions. He's like, 100%. I'm like, he does not know. He has no clue. He did not listen to any directions. And it triggered me so much that I was like, I cannot believe this is his only edit of the entire show. It's going to be 100% TJ. I got you. And I was like, no. And I just got done explaining how awful these directions were.
Maybe he's just really good with directions. Like, I've had students before where they could be having an entire conversation while I'm giving directions, and they're just good at listening to two things at the same time. And I'll be like, what I say, and they'd give me like detailed, like exactly what I said, inflections the same, just insane.
Sure.
So maybe he's one of those people that just like gets it.
Oh, I feel like I'm one of those people. I also feel like he's not one of those people. So I think he just said it to
Everybody
like,
really rags
gotcha.
on him, man.
He doesn't bring anything to the table. I mean, how many times do we have to say this? He's a big brother, but he's not even in the alliance. Big Brother forgot he's in Big Brother. He does nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the tweet, the bingo card. That's great. That's awesome. They have his like respect, whatever else. They also have when he speaks. It's weird. He's also on when he speaks because he doesn't speak some episodes, but then he says something dumb on the other ones. Like it just 100% TJ, I got you. No, you don't. Bro, got you. Let him finish. Oh, God. As I told you, it triggered me. Now here we are.
That could have been the third time he said it. Like, and like, we're just seeing it that way as viewers. And like, you know, like when someone just keeps telling you something and you're like, dude, like you've told me this story like 5 times. Like, I got it. I remember. We're good. Please don't repeat it again. Like maybe it was just like the 4th time that TJ explained it and like people were asking questions. And he was like, got it.
Okay, I just told you I was triggered and you make sense. Don't make sense of what makes me triggered. That does make sense because we know how much TJ has to repeat himself for 45 minutes over these rules. And that makes complete sense. But don't interrupt my man TJ.
I mean, yeah, yes. Thank you for agreeing with me. But I do agree. Yeah, don't interrupt TJ.
You make sense.
Thanks. That makes me feel really good.
Okay. All right.
I got a gold star. Leo mentions his cat thing, and you know what? I'm done with it. I'm done with it.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
He's like, I'm a catfish. And he's paired up with Sarah.
See, this is where I get dumb. Is Leo like a cat sign of the...
Leo is a cat sign. That's like Leo the lion. Okay. My mom's a Leo. It's a July birthday.
I'm not mad at your mom. I'm mad that Leo keeps saying he's a cat. Like, you're like justifying, like, my mom, by the way, before you start getting on signs, my mom is.
Fine.
I'm not mad at people who are Leos or cat signs or whatever they're called. I'm just mad at you keep saying I'm a cat or I'm a catfish.
It's a little strange. I don't maybe he's saying more, but they're only showing his cat stuff.
Yeah, he's not
I can't. And he's like, I'm a catfish. And Sarah just like, she couldn't even handle it. She's like, God, this guy.
Yeah. And we all were the same way.
Oh,
like, hey, Sarah,
I felt for her.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, Sarah, I don't know how I feel about you, but right now I totally am paddling the same boat as you. So good for you. Yeah.
Well, and I'd been actually kind of thinking about Sarah. I was like, really haven't seen much from her. Everyone says she's a beast. Happy to see at least just like screen time from her this episode.
Yeah.
Kashay ends up, Kashay can't swim. Tyson is very supportive, like kind of helps her. Like he like holds on to her life jacket. She kicks. Mm-hmm. She's a very good swimmer. I don't know if you knew that.
I sure do.
And I thought this was really nice teamwork though. Like, you know, and
okay.
Then Kashay opens the wrong barrel.
Remember when you said earlier, you know what you signed up for? How do you not figure that swimming's going to happen, Kashay or Azza or whatever else? And
if you were to watch,
before you even get close to bringing up Leroy, and don't do that.
I would never.
Okay, thank you.
I will never.
But to be like, oh, that is just tough. And Leo, oh my God, Leo.
said he was good, and then
and he asked her, like, that's what
held on to her like a child.
That is exactly.
It reminded me of a child at the like city pool.
Yes,
like on their mom's back.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Dad, dive underwater, and I'm gonna hold on to you like you're a dolphin. Like, okay, like this guy is a grown adult.
That made me very uncomfortable. And like we've mentioned this. I don't love water, but like I would have figured it out. Like I'm not about like making you pull me. Like get it. Like
no.
And I said, get it together. Like, I wasn't there, you know.
What is there to be? You're not there. The only thing that makes you, like, apprehensive when there's money on the line is be like, oh, and by the way, there's piranhas here. That's the only other thing where you're just like, I don't know, TJ. The money's enticing, but there's piranhas.
There's sharks with laser beams.
Yeah, exactly. Other than that, it's just like, no, there's money. You need to win this to be able to run my final.
We're just not coming last and have enough alliances.
Sure.
You know. Yeah. So Kashay opens the wrong tin. Obviously, Tyson's frustrated. They got to go back. Okay. Danny is partnered with Angela, who is a beast. They're both former professional athletes of some sort. Or they're both SEC athletes. SEC.
Southeastern Conference?
Yeah.
She ran track, right?
Yeah. She was pole vaulter, and he obviously was football.
Oh, yeah.
And then he played professional football for the Cowboys.
Just get it over with. I swear to God. Get Danny's, get it over with. Get it over with.
He looked really nice in his, like, whatever that
He's a very attractive man. Just get it over with how much you're excited that he said what he said.
So Angela pulls him up, and he's like, I already look bad. And he says, Kiki got to kill me. This is embarrassing.
This is where now I'm stepping in,
so
and
much.
I'm now doing something where I'm gonna find, because I just got word, I got some information before we went on the show, and this is why every time we bring up the Kiki portion of this, which it happens every time, I don't know what it is, what clause it is in his prenup, but he has to mention her. I'm gonna mention Susie Q now. I'm in. There's a certain person that watched the show, and now I'm gonna mention Susie Q because now we mentioned Kiki. It is now the clause in this tacit agreement that every time we talk about the Kiki segment, I'm going to say hi to Susie Q. So hi, Susie
We
Q.
love her.
Yeah. So
it was very early in the episode. I just love it, though. And here's the thing. Okay, so Leo with the cats, I'm like, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Danny being cute and charming, and not that Leo is not charming and cute, but Danny being cute and charming and being like, Kiki got to kill me. I'm like, I love you. And I love Kiki.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
every time.
But I just know how excited you get to talk about you.
I do. It makes me so happy. And like, obviously, you guys don't get to see when we watch together, but I legit went like this. I was like, yes.
The worst part about this is it takes like my brain like about 7 seconds to figure out who Danny is. Like, I don't know who Danny is.
Because he doesn't get a lot of screen time.
But as soon as I do, I'm like, oh, Kiki. It's like 0.5 seconds. I'm like, oh, Kiki, yeah, mention Kiki. Let's do that. Like, as I'm Danny. Oh, Kiki. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Like, Kiki's more of a character than Danny is right now in the show.
I think he's a sleeper. I think he's going to be good. He is someone to be reckoned with, but he's playing low key. He's not making any enemies. Talking about how much he loves his wife. Everyone loves that. I love him.
Of course. Yeah.
LFG. Let's freaking go.
Yeah.
So then we have Leo not wanting to jump in the water. He climbs down. Okay. Sarah flips in.
That's excessive.
Such a Jordan move.
That's it. Yes. That's 1,000%. That's a Jordan move.
She's frustrated. She's like, let's flip it in.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a bad flip. She landed appropriately.
Okay. Yeah.
Tyson says, obviously I'm not going to win. At this point, I'm swimming to finish, but it's kind of fun passing people. Something about rabbits or bunnies.
Like picking off rabbits or something like that, or see little rabbits in front of me. And I get it. And at first I was kind of like, oh, Tyson, roll my eyes. But I was like, you know what? In any type of race that you're doing, you do that. You set small goals to get to the big one. So
always.
At first I was like rolling my eyes, but I was like, it doesn't matter if you're in a swimming race, a foot race, whatever. You're like, okay, if I get to that person or I get to this mark,
it's motivator.
Yeah, so I'm okay with it, and but like I said, at first I was too judgmental and I rolled my eyes. But I was like, I get
You
it,
did.
and good for him. And I think that was a help here in this challenge.
Absolutely. So at this point, I would say the majority of the people are working on the puzzle. There's maybe 4 teams still
Derek
swimming.
and they're there.
Derek and Kayla got there first.
Oh, yeah.
Then Ben and who is Ben's partner? Justine.
Yeah.
Who she's great. They were second, and then so many other people. Tyson and Kashay managed to win it.
Yeah, and
I was shocked.
Yeah,
which I shouldn't be. I shouldn't be.
No.
The title episode is in Tyson We Trust.
Yeah, and we should have seen that coming. But there is a certain edit when you watch this, and for some of you who just listen and haven't watched it yet or whatever else, there is a certain edit where you kind of feel like, oh, okay, I can see this moving here now, like going in that direction. But it is respect where respect is due. It's pretty incredible. They were the only ones that pulled it. The producer's like, you have to go back. He did seriously pull her through that thing. She just kicked. He held on to everything else. He basically was swimming with one arm. All respect to everything that they did for that. And I mean, it was a little bit of a celebration, whatever else. I don't think it was too
happy.
Much, but, yeah.
I mean, it oddly made me happy. It was weird because he has been such a front runner, and she's been pretty good too. But because of the way things panned out in this challenge, they somehow became the underdogs.
Yes. Yeah.
And it was like, I was rooting for the underdogs, but like he's top dog. Like it was an interesting juxtaposition. Is that the word I'm looking for?
No, I think that's the right word.
And
here's what I
right
don't
there
want about this challenge. And I think we've trying to figure out like CBS version versus MTV. MTV will give you a swerve. Right now, CBS will just take you there. And you can kind of, if you want to, you can kind of fast forward through this to get to like the deliberation in the arena.
Yeah.
Because right away, you're like, I know who's going to win. If you're a challenge fan. If you're new to this, which there's millions of viewers who are new. There's no doubt about it. But
averaging around 300 or 3 million a week.
But if you're a challenge fan, you can be like, I can go and have it on in the background and do this, and they can go through the challenge. But we like to watch the challenge thing, and we like to say, and we didn't ask. Is it? I think now you said about water or whatever else. Is this a challenge you would like to do?
Hang on, I thought of some more tea.
Okay, but
is this a challenge I would like to do? Not particularly.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like water, but I think I could do it just fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is not one that I would like to do. I would like to do the trivia with the falling, basically all the other challenges up until this point. This is just not one. This would be one for me that I'm like, just come like finish in like the middle third if possible. That would be like my goal.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to do it, but I would feel like I would do very well. Now, I don't know how I would be at puzzles. There's people out there that say in challenge history they've been like, I'm a puzzle king, puzzle queen, whatever. I don't know about that. I really don't. I would feel like I would be like, you got to keep up or whatever else. And not that I'm a fast swimmer. And I've said this before. I do not like things that live in water. I do not want to be there at all. I will swim very, very fast to get from point A to point B because I do not like things that live in water. So I think, but I would be like, where are you at? And I might be the person to drag someone. I feel like I could swim fast, but the puzzle thing, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't bat an eyelash at this. I wouldn't be like, oh no,
this
TJ.
Isn't scary. This isn't
not scary.
This isn't like jumping from a high height into water and then having to swim.
That's
you know
what
what
I
I
couldn't
mean?
get about going down like Dom went down it too. Like, what do you mean you got to go down the?
See, and to me,
the cargo.
And
nets.
I said it to you when we were watching. That cargo net looked like a rolled ankle waiting to happen.
Yeah,
I'd rather just jump in. Well, it wasn't Dom that went in; it was Enzo.
Sorry.
Dom jumped in like kind of funky, and I looked at you and I go, and that's exactly how I jump into water.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Look, you're right. It was Enzo. I apologize. Yeah, but it
just
like how can you not? I mean, we've all jumped off a high dive at some point.
I've never done a high dive. I've done a regular dive.
Yeah. I mean, I've jumped off bridges into rivers before. I've done this. Like that's not a big deal.
Yeah. Skydiving.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I don't know.
The into the water thing is weird.
Like you said, they get the win. It's good.
And at this point, it's once they win, everyone still has to keep playing because it's about who's last.
Yes. Yep.
Azah is scared, and she pushes through. She mentions a scripture from the Bible. It was one of the Corinthians.
Yeah, you nailed
It pushed her to go in. I appreciated that she kept going.
Mm-hmm.
I felt for her. Like, you could tell that she was like winded, scared. I appreciated that she continued. Sarah and Leo and Cinco and Azah were the last.
Yeah.
I keep saying Azah. Aja. No, it's Azah.
It's Azah.
Yeah. And at the last minute, Sarah and Leo get it. So that means Cinco and Azah are going in. And that made me feel sad. Like, I was frustrated for Sarah because I could tell how much, like, how she's a decent athlete and how much she wanted it and how her partner really did not perform.
Yeah.
But
he's swimming away talking crap to TJ, like, oh, I love you, TJ, just kidding, I hate you for today. And she's like, stop talking. And she's right. He's just wading backwards, not even.
It's exhausting. Like, I would be so frustrated. Like, I'm down for, like, fun, but, like, try. Like, fun later.
Yeah.
And, but I've kind of grown. After Azah went, or
Azah, you're right.
Yeah, I keep second guessing myself. After
it.
she in the first episode like went through having to go back up those steps and did it and like passed out, I was like, this girl wants it.
Yeah.
And gained my respect.
Maybe she should want some water so she doesn't get dehydrated. Anyway, yeah.
And I kind of like Cinco. I wanted to see more. I think he's a good athlete. I liked hearing that he really wanted this. This was his dream. And so I'm like, that's kind of a bummer that they're going in. But then it didn't even occur to me. Like, it was like I had like a weird flash where I like forgot everything. And I'm like, oh my God. His ex won this. And they get to pick who they go against.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no. Oh no. I'm like, how's this going to go? How's this going to go?
Drama. Exactly what the producers want. They're like, we did the perfect algorithm, came through again.
Yeah,
somehow,
perfect algorithm.
Somehow it came through.
So Tyson goes up to first Cinco and
love Cinco here. Love it.
And they're talking, and he says, "Don't give her any names. She'll manipulate you. Don't do it. Don't do it." And Azah's eyes kind of get a little like big, like, oh, I don't know if I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And you immediately were like, oh no, she's going to give names.
She's going to crack.
She's going to immediately give names.
Name.
And I feel that because I'd be like, like I would feel really nervous because I'm like, I'm trying to still be here too. Yeah. But he knows her well enough, knows Kashay well enough to be like, nah, we're not doing that. So Tyson and Kashay meet with them. They say, is your goal to like get some money here or like keep yourself safe? Like, how you feeling? They don't give
Cinco
anybody.
Doesn't crack. I love it. Cinco sitting there. He's got his arm around her. He's like, we haven't really even talked about any game.
And she walked by.
We haven't really talked at all. So, and he's just cool as the other side of the pillow. He's like, we haven't, and like you said,
God bless Aja.
Like, she watched them talk, and he's like, no, we haven't talked. Yeah. And then Azah comes in, and she's like, I don't know what you guys are thinking. I don't really have
any. Like, I'm not doing it.
I don't have any problem with anyone. I don't think there's anybody out there.
She calls it playing chicken. She's like, right now we're just playing chicken. Tyson says there's no popcorn in the house. I need some popcorn.
Yeah. And then what was Azah said, Cinco and Kashay have like, there's this tension playing chicken and you can cut it with the spoon. I was like, I
can feel the tension, cut it with a spoon.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
It's like cutting it with a fork, but
I don't even. I thought you could still think you can cut it with a knife. I thought that was the saying.
Maybe it's just any silverware, your silverware of choice, to cut the tension.
Have you ever heard you can set the tension so thick you can cut it with a spoon?
No, but I have heard I'm gonna cut you with a spoon. Like that mean like, oh, yikes, that's like really bad.
That sounds really bad. I've never heard that before.
No,
I don't know.
It was in a movie at some point.
Okay. Well, I was like, okay. maybe it's just regional. I have no idea. Maybe they say it in other areas.
True.
We're in the Midwest.
Just like we ope.
We ope. You're right. Yeah.
Kayla and Derek are talking. They're thinking about, their chances of getting voted in. And they say Dom is thinking he's voted in again. Very paranoid, thinking he's voted in again. But his partner is Desi, who is a strong female.
This is where Kira gets really, really smart.
Kayla,
yeah.
And it's incredibly smart. She's like, why would he do that? Because Desi is a strong female. That's a partner he has not had yet. He's not going to risk that.
The perfect algorithm has not been perfect for him yet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That was a really, really strong point.
And they kind of allude to people see us as a layup.
Mm-hmm.
Sarah and Danny are talking. Sarah's annoyed with Leo.
Oh boy, there's a montage of people that she's talking to. That edit
she shouldn't have.
That edit did not go out well for Sarah. Yeah, all the people she's talking to, and
that's frustrating because I'm a venter too. But in this game, you can't vent like that because now everyone's like, I don't want to be partnered with Leo.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
And on top of it, I don't want to be partnered with Sarah if I'm a dude. Be like, she's just gonna, if she doesn't win, she's gonna talk trash or whatever else. So she's not. There's people out that there's people like that in this world.
True.
We all know it. They're not gonna take blame no matter what.
Ugh,
they're gonna find
the most exhausting.
Yeah, they're gonna find one flaw and be like, well, they didn't do this. And you never be like, hey, we're a team. No. But that's kind of where she's at here.
And Kashay, in an interview, she's like, it's not about me not liking Leo. I'm obsessed with Leo. But after what Sarah said, I don't want to be partnered with him.
Mm-hmm.
Kayla then talks to Tyson, plants the seeds of Ben. About how Ben's been kind of talking. I don't know if I would say smack. I don't know if I would say smack.
They're just a little jealous that you've won.
Yes.
So they're talking about it, that you've won a few times. Basically, it's not talking smack. It's what you're doing is you're planting the seed to be like, man, they've won a lot. Man, this person's really won a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. And what you do is you want someone to take the ball and run with it and be like, you're right, they have. And maybe they're a threat. And that way you can say, I didn't say it. It's a CT. I didn't say their name.
Oh, it's exactly. Kayla is so playing CT.
Yeah. So
CT's game.
So she's saying that, his name's been out there and he's no dummy. He's does it start with a B?
Mm-hmm.
So
right away. Yeah. So we go into the arena. TJ's wearing some skinny jeans.
Yeah.
And everyone's dressed like it's very cold.
Yeah. Tyson's got some cardigan on or whatever.
Cardigan, else. Yeah. And I think he lives in Arizona. It looked kind of like that vibe. And TJ's had a very thick flannel on as well. I always like to look at TJ's outfits.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing so far has compared to his buffalo plaid from All Stars 3, though. That is the best look on TJ ever.
Hear, hear.
They go through this entrance, which I liked.
Yeah, it was some type of weird laser tag entrance.
A black hallway. Well, a dark hallway.
Yeah.
And there were holes cut out of it, and then they had light behind it. So you could see them coming through.
Yeah, he's Cinco.
There were
I
shadows.
think they were coming down from a professional wrestling ramp or something like that.
It was very flattering. Yeah. And it wasn't them going
oh, yeah, you're right.
I hate that.
I don't know why I forgot about that. Yeah, the whole thing when they pause. For
on 37.
Bit.
Yeah. Before they go into who is going to be against Azah and Cinco, we see a flashback. Or actually, they say it. They say who's going in, and then we see a flashback where Tyson wanted Ben to go in.
Yeah.
But Kashay, his partner was Justine. That's Kashay's really good friend.
Yeah. Yep.
And Ben's partner was Justine. Something about Sarah.
Yeah. But it was
taking her out would be beneficial because then that hurts Ben. Something like that.
Yes, you're taking out if you it's a survivor move, and it's Cinco that describes it. He says it's a survivor move. You take out their best ally. If you take your shot, your shot is to take out their ally, and then that way he kind of knows. He said it's a Survivor move. Again, I have not watched a lot of Survivor.
I have not watched any. I need to. People love it. It's good. And these people are fantastic. I'm intrigued.
And when I said I haven't watched a lot of Survivor, I have not watched anything but the first episode and the last episode of season 1. So it's fine.
That's it?
That's it. It's fine. I don't care. I'm never going back to watch it or anything. But he does say, he goes, this is no, I'm sorry. I said Danny. Danny said, this is a Survivor move. You take out their strongest ally.
Yes.
That is you making the shot across the bow. So
yeah,
that's what it came up to. Yeah.
So Leo and Sarah are voted in. Sarah's pissed, visibly pissed, but she's all like, I'm the calmest I've ever been.
She knew this happened.
I don't know why I gave her a low voice. She doesn't have a low voice, but she's all like, I'm the calmest I've ever been.
This dude that Leo, who has an up and down episode, okay?
Cats can see in the dark.
That. He's like, I called you big brother. Dude, you are a grown man. You do not call some person that you just met 3 weeks ago your big brother.
It's a little strange, yeah.
On top of it, if you're going to wear that outfit, you might as well just go full on priest. Because that thing was so weird.
I just thought like it was like was it like a black?
Yes, but it was like the mock. There was no
It was a mock turtle. Mock turtles are weird.
And it's top of there.
And then he had a necklace.
What do you do? What are you wearing? They could just.
We go through this with like Fessy and Josh. It's people are wearing that. We just don't know how to we don't know men's style. We don't know 20-something, early 30-year-old men's style.
Is he? Because Theo looks like he's my age.
I don't know.
Theo looks like he's my age. Anyway,
I don't know. We don't know. I should probably find out.
Anyway, I called you a big brother, and like what? Like you just don't. I thought we were friends. That's all you have to do.
I'd be like, that sucks.
Yeah. Hey, I appreciate your game. I watched you on Survivor. I really thought we vibed. I thought we're friends. No? Okay. Anyway.
Elimination's called a dark turn.
Yeah.
Teams are tied together.
Yeah.
They go to a dark room. There are film reels of 4 sizes. They have to memorize the stack on each pole and then put it together.
Mm-hmm.
The reels are scattered on each team's side. Arena starts, and I didn't know because we didn't know. It wasn't mentioned that they didn't have to go in right away.
Yeah.
I thought they had to go in right away. So Sarah and Leo are like, no, let's like get all of our extra large, small, medium, whatever, together. Yeah. And then we're going to measure them like with our hands. Like my fist is this.
Oh, it's clearly Leo that comes up with this because he'll tell you.
And he says, he called it the 4-3-2-1 quadratic system.
Mm-hmm.
It's brilliant. Yeah. But even as I was watching
Father Leo came up with this. Yeah.
Even as I was watching it, I'm like, is this brilliant or is this wasting time? Like, I wasn't sure. And absolutely it paid off.
It was good. I mean, obviously, you can't go in there and be like, in the dark and be like, okay, I think the skinny mini, whatever. It's not working out that
well,
way.
When I first started, when I was looking at them, I was thinking of the holes. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, maybe like each smaller one has less holes. But then I looked and no, they didn't.
Yeah.
Like, well, at least 2 I looked at had 5 or 6. So I'm like, that wouldn't work.
I wouldn't want to be tied to somebody.
No. Well, I mean, poor Azza got drugged for a second. He was like, you okay?
Yeah. Oh, at least he was asking you.
Leo and Sarah
Leo's used to it being that close. He could have just jumped on her back because he's used to just riding on Sarah's back. So, I mean, he would have been just fine.
Or cats. They always land on their feet.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. But you piggyback? He's like, hey, you give me a piggyback? And she's like, what do you mean? He's like, well, because I rode on your back during the swimming event, so might as well just keep it up. She'd be like, yeah, no problem.
But you know what? This was the perfect elimination for him and Sarah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he says like
it played to their strengths.
He came through in the end and they celebrated. Tyson not happy about the celebration.
Yeah, Sarah's like doing this and like acting like she's like a turkey leg or something. That's what Tyson said, yeah. He's like, I don't like. He's like, it's gonna be a headache when we're in the house.
What does everybody think's gonna happen? Eventually, you have to.
Right. And we're halfway. We're halfway at this point to what I think. We're halfway. So yeah, it's starting to get ugly. That's just the name of the game. Welcome to the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes into the algorithm right before it cuts off. And did you immediately think Tyson and Sarah were then going to be partners next week?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's going to be the perfect algorithm next week. Sarah and Tyson.
Yeah, but they do give like an edit where she's like, I think she kind of says like,
and maybe Angela and Catboy.
She's like,
name?
You know, revenge or karma.
Leo.
Karma. That's what she says in the preview. She says something about karma, but right away you said it, and I was like, oh yes, you're right. It's Sarah and Tyson. I'm like, unless she gets to be, and I said the other option is Sarah and Ben.
Yeah.
And
because
then
they go out,
karma is,
or they go out.
They get Tyson or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Because
she says karma gets it. So there, I just think the perfect algorithm is either she's going to be with Tyson, or she's going to be with Ben.
Yeah,
that's it. And we're going to see more of like if they win or whatever else, then they get to do something with Tyson karma. And I'm not saying the preview takes you where they want to go. The usual first. Anywhere from 2 to 7 minutes takes you where the episode's going to go.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. So the previews will throw you off, and that's what keeps bringing you back. And good for them, they should. That's the cliffhanger. Like, oh, and that's why they put the algorithm at the end. And it's just like, oh, we're going to do the and it's never going to happen. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, decent enough episode. We get to see go, and we lost some more people, and I don't think we lost anybody that was too much.
I liked them both, but for whatever reason, I was rooting for Sarah. I don't know why. Maybe it's because we have the same name and same spelling. I don't know. I
mean, I didn't care either way. I was like, fine. I root for it because she has the same name as you too. Yeah, I just didn't want to be the one to say it. You did it, so yeah. I'm like, okay.
So at this point, Tyson is the richest man in the house.
Yes,
he is. I mean, a force to be reckoned with. He has the Survivor Alliance. Angela and him are in cahoots. Does that mean that he's going to be safe for a while? Or do you think that means that with the enemy he made with Sarah this week and Ben, that he's going to have a target on his back?
Again, back to the thing where Sarah says karma, you have to believe that. But I do believe that if this split happens, the bamboozled with Ben and Sarah, he has the numbers because Angela's got the big brother. So Survivor can split, okay? Mm-hmm. He just has to be on the right side of the split, the numbers wise, and who is kind of in alliance
like Desi, now, Danny.
Keep in mind, this is not like the challenge or Big Brother where you have the numbers. Like the challenge will always tell you
these are these alliances.
This is the alliance here. Us group, we're together. We're voting. We are all voting this way.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the algorithm, it's not that simple.
Correct.
But he still has Angela and the Big Brother, which means I don't know how many people are in there that you're like Big Brother, but I don't think David. I know I joke around about it. I don't think he's in the Big Brother alliance.
No.
I don't know if Enzo and Angela are tight in that situation.
I don't think so.
Oz is out. So like the Big Brother's fading fast too.
It is. Kylan
and Alyssa. Mm-hmm. But Angela's not on that season.
Derek's
not on that season either. But hopefully they are together. That's what he's hoping.
Derek was on that season.
Not with
Angela. Not with Angela.
And she's. I mean, they already showed us two together. Again, pay attention. They will tell us we're together. We are the strongest competitors.
True.
So, like, is it a house of cards? We don't know. And that's what we're going to find out.
So good. Yeah. So good. I love this switching partners every week because it does keep you on your toes and it makes the alliances shift.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it. I want Challenge Proper to do this. I want the flagship to do it. I hope they do it in 38.
Yeah, it's not bad. But it's going to be interesting when Kyle and Alyssa, Derek, they turn around and there's like, we don't need anything to do with Angela or Enzo. We're now together doing this, and we're doing our own thing. We're doing our own footprint because Tiffany's not here, who ran the cookout and
was the Big Brother glue on the challenge.
Yeah, Xavier's not here, who won it. We are putting our own footprint on this, and maybe they can do that. They kind of get together, do it. I don't know, but it's going to have to turn on Angela for this is just the Big Brother portion of it. They're going to have to turn on Angela, and you can keep Enzo around forever. I don't care. The man went down in a cargo net. So it's fine.
Yeah, we really don't see much of him either.
He does nothing.
Like, you hate on David. I feel like he's the one
say the
that...
same thing. 2 seasons of Big Brother, the only thing he ever did was always try to say that he made up an alliance nickname. And most of the time he didn't. He's like the third to go out.
And I'm not familiar.
Yeah, he's the third. I think he made it second in All Stars, whatever else. And he was still just carried along. It is what it is. So he's not going to make any waves.
Who won the episode?
Great question. I think you did.
Sarah.
Yeah. No, not these Sarah. You. No, it's a great question. I thought we would talk our way through this entire episode on this podcast, and I would be like, yep. And I still do not know who won this episode. No one won me over in this episode, to be honest with you.
It's tough because
I know you want to say Leo.
I want to say Kashay, but she didn't do that well in the challenge, obviously. But she won the challenge, and she persuaded Tyson to pick a certain person to go in to the elimination. So, like, you can't sleep on that.
No.
That's some good gameplay. It wasn't any. I feel like this episode was a great episode. I really like this episode, but there's no like solid winner.
Maybe that makes it a good episode when you can't really find a solid winner. And this would be a first, but in only 5 episodes of this, but I guess I could give co-winners to Tyson and Kashay. Like, as much as I know he's arrogant or whatever else, but I like that he's just like, I'm swimming, just picking up people like rabbits, and that is a motivation thing. That's what people do in races. They're like, if I can just get to this point, then maybe I can get to the next. And I like that about him, that he did that.
And everything that I've just seen from like her body language in the challenge, like before, like they were holding hands, like before it started.
That's right. That's true.
And then also like on social media was that it seems like he was encouraging and supportive and helpful, like of someone who this is obviously a fear.
Yeah.
Like,
so
that's like a big thing for me.
I'll give it to both of them. I mean, if I had to push come shove, I'd probably be more Tyson because he won the entire challenge on his own. But no,
I mean, we don't know about the puzzle. She might have.
Okay, but the
swimming portion. Yeah.
He'd do it like 150 yards, 75, and he did it 3 times or whatever else. So it's 675 yards. He drug her around the water. So it made that math work out. Yeah,
she did she kicked.
All right, stop. So anyway,
all right, we'll give it. Yeah, we'll give it to him.
I give them both.
Co-winners, Tyson and Kashay.
That's the fun of talking this out. I may not be the biggest fan of him, may not be the biggest fan of hers, but when you really look at the episode and you break it down, you have to be like, okay, respect goes to where it goes, and just because you don't like them, it's not a popularity contest. They won the episode. They truly did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who lost?
I'm sorry. To me, it is Leo. Good for him for coming up with that stuff, but that is just, I don't know.
Dude, that was like a really bad edit. Like, nobody is going to want to be teamed.
No, I don't know unless where it's a puzzle. His head is
like,
at,
if I get teamed up with Leo and then I see it's a puzzle, I'd be like, you know what I mean?
The one thing that's always going to annoy me is going to be the class clown or the person that heckles at the comedian. Or the person who's in the middle of
the person that heckles the comedian is the worst.
Or the person who's in the middle of a competition and he's just like, hey, TJ, love you. No, I hate you. Those things are going to annoy me because you're not focused on what's going on.
There's a way to do that that's charming. Like Kyle.
Yes,
Kyle is funny and will be the class clown during it, but he still goes for it.
But he's also like...
he has athletic skills.
No, but Kyle also is self-deprecating in a way. He'll make fun of himself. Leo's calling himself a cat. Like, what? First things first.
I need to research his social media.
Like, or he's saying like I'm like cat. But don't get me wrong. There's no tangent going on here. But I'm not a big fan of furries, so I'm not a thing of where he's gonna. I'm not saying he is, but this is like the second or third episode or whatever, he's going into this whole thing of like a catfish or whatever. Like, you're not. Cats can see in the dark or whatever.
Right. It's extremely strange to me, but like, I don't know enough about it. I'm like, and who knows, maybe
I don't think he's referring himself as furry, and I don't want to get anything wrong here. I think he is just he thinks he's funny. And again, what I just say,
he's making jokes.
I don't like the class clown. I don't like the heckler, and I don't like the person who's not taking something serious when obviously someone else's money is on the line. And that's what I think is. I think he's funnier than he is. And it's like, dude, you're too much.
It's that person that's incredibly...
He's not self-aware.
Makes you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Because they're like making the jokes all the time.
Yeah. And you're like, they're not funny.
Right. Like
you're
a person like a really
room.
important... Yeah. Not reading the room. Like a very important staff meeting and they like make a joke and you're like, no. Like they're talking about like something serious that happened. Yeah. And they're like, and it's like, no, like stop. Like I need to like walk away from you because I feel uncomfortable and I don't want to be associated with that. And again, good for him for going through with the arena. He killed it in the arena.
But to me, that's where it is right now. It really is for losing the episode. What would
cringeworthy moment? Cat.
Yeah.
Cat.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think there's much more out of that besides that.
Yeah, it makes me uncomfortable.
What would Bananas do? You know, I think he still would have thrown in those two. So I don't think like if he's in Tyson's shoes, he would have done something. He might have blindsided someone. That's putting Sarah's in is a Bananas move, and with the name Sarah too. Yeah,
right.
But, it's just so weird. It's hard with this show to do what Bananas do because we don't get to see this social game as much.
Yes.
Because we don't get to see him when they're out and he's like...
It's very Big Brother-esque, whispering in corners.
Yes, exactly.
Instead of... I mean, the Challenge House, like on the flagship, yes, there's whispering in corners, but it's I don't know, theatrical. I don't know how to explain it. Yeah. Like to somebody that has just watched CBS, The Challenge, versus someone who's watched it on MTV. Yeah. Like the private conversations lead to more.
Absolutely. And then they lead to after when they get home from the places.
Right.
Like they'll hold on
they
a
do
little
on
bit.
this.
Like that's the thing. I mean, and we've all been in conversations with people. We've been in arguments where people, and trust me, we can smell our own. I'm one of them. That you can, they retain one little thing of the conversation you had, and they will not let that go. And they'll keep bringing up like, yeah, but you said this. Like, yeah, but I said a lot of things. Like, yeah, but you said this. Banana's like, yeah, but you said this about this person. Yeah, but I said a lot of things.
Right.
But you said this and this. And that's what you're losing. You're losing that social aspect of it when you're trying to politic during the whole thing. And so it's a tough one here to say, what would he do? He probably would blindside somebody else and be like, yeah, you said this and that. He probably would have. Bananas wouldn't do.
He would have instigated a conversation. He might. You know what he would have done? Is it okay if I interrupt you? I just realized I totally interrupt you.
No.
The Kashay Cinco situation where Cinco wasn't going to say anything and Azah wasn't going to say anything. He'd go over to Azah privately. What are you thinking? Who do you want?
Oh yeah.
He would have gotten something from her.
He would have turned around. He
absolutely gotten something.
That was fine. I know this for camera. You had to do this, whatever else. But yeah, you and I, we need to talk about this. He probably. The other thing I think he would have done is I think he would have gone straight for Ben and not Sarah. But who was Ben? But Ben was with Justine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he can't.
And that's a hard no for Kashay.
Hard no.
And I appreciate that for her, where she's like, hard no, not doing it.
So that's but he would have. And I'm sure they have to come up with something, or else they're like they both go in.
Or it was Justine? Did I say
Justine? No, Kashay said, but yes. So that's it. What are the categories?
MTV versus CBS, which I think we just covered. That the conversations are different, and also no party night, no anything. It's just like straight up.
It doesn't mean
does it feel like work to them? Do you think? Like I feel like this makes it seem like it's just work. And granted, it is work. They get a paycheck for this, but like the challenge flagship makes it look like there's like more fun in between.
I just think they're trying to sell it so hard to be like, when they're not doing this, they're working out and they have weights on their ankles and they're stretching. Like, because they're athletes. Like, well, guys,
well, also, there's nothing else.
This.
Well, of course, we know that.
Who they are.
But there's also nothing better to do. Like, you don't have a TV. You don't have music. You don't have...
Well, show the things that they do outside of that. But I just don't want to see someone stretching with ankle weights on.
You know what I thought about actually midway through this episode? Like, things I'd do. I thought about getting a notebook, because y'all know I love a notebook. And literally, like, they would think that I was strategizing some crazy stuff. And I'd literally be like, all right, Sarah, fill this page with 50 names of movies that start with an R. Go. And I'd like, just see
They're
if I
not
could...
giving you a pen and paper in that thing.
They do, because remember Michaela had pen and paper. She was able to make notes.
I thought it was that. Hold on a second.
On Challenge 37, remember she had her little like list.
Oh yeah, that's right, the list. But did she sneak it in? Whatever.
No, because also remember later they were like all practicing math, like on downtime.
Yeah, that's true. But I've also heard other times where Bananas like
Laurel always has a notebook.
Bananas would write notes ahead of time.
Well, he had his sister write those.
Yes, yeah, put it in there. Okay, yeah,
but yeah, that's the kind of stuff I'd be doing. I can be like, Sarah, okay, name 50 movies that start with an R. Go. And then I'd get to like 27 and I'd be like, guys, help me out. Those are like the stupid things I'd be doing.
No,
to, like,
I get it. You think, you have
time.
you have to figure out like how you can survive that. I'd figure out how would I survive?
And I feel like I would go through like the alphabet.
Yeah,
I'd be like, let's start with A.
I'm like, I would take 2 socks, roll them up, and I'd figure out some game to play catch with. See how many times we can catch in a row with just our left hand. And they'd be like, so. And then same thing. There's things in the Big Brother house where they sit there and you have to be in isolation for 24 hours. I'm like, I just act out every scene from Grease for the cameras. Like, it's not that hard to do. I've seen it a lot of times. So those are, you have to think.
Oh
like,
my
what
God,
you did
right? Like think about like the monologues for movies that you really like and be like, I'm gonna nail it.
Yeah. And like,
they can't air any of it because of copyright.
Yeah. And then 15 minutes later, you'd be like, wait, has it been 24 hours? Like, no, you just.
You'd be like, all right, I'm really gonna start right now. I'm gonna do Clueless from start to finish. Ready?
Yeah, or just
waking up a dirty old window. No,
Kids in America, Kim Wilder. Yeah,
that's the beginning of Clueless.
Yeah, it's great. Amy Heckerling.
I can do it right now if you want.
But the thing is, like, we could. But yeah, you find things to do, and you're right. And thinking about like what to do in your
we just don't get to see that, and I would like to see that more. That's my point. That's it.
Yeah.
Slice and tea.
Oh yeah. That was my favorite part.
I have a lot. Like, don't look at it. Like, don't read it.
I cannot read it from here.
It's a whole page.
Okay.
Challenge 38 just finished filming.
Okay.
Spoilers are out. I got spoiled. I will not spoil you. I will not spoil you.
Appreciate that.
Not doing it. I hate being spoiled. It just happened. I can't help it. I follow this person.
You're spoiled. You're married to Klinger.
Aren't I though? He's the best husband of all time.
Yeah.
Something did come out that a woman on the cast got hit in the face with a golf ball, and it's going to require like plastic surgery.
Oh,
that's awful. I feel incredibly horrible for that poor person. I won't say who it was because then I'll give things away. But that's
just... Did someone throw it?
I don't know how it went down.
Go down that rabbit hole if they're Final Alliance fans. That's too bad.
Yeah, I have no idea how it went down, but I
got it.
Genuinely, you know who you are. Thinking about you, praying for you. Hope you're okay.
Yeah, I am too, but I can't stop to have this comic relief moment about Clueless when the doctor says I can't have any balls come up my face or whatever else. Sorry. There goes your social life. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I know what I'm not like. I'm not making.
You are making. You are.
But it's just weird that we went to
Clueless.
it.
I just talked about
Clueless. I let you have the moment. And I said that's terrible, but it is kind of weird that we just talked about Clueless and it went to that. I'm just.
My plastic surgeon says I can't
have any
balls.
It doesn't matter about the line. We all got it by now, Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay?
I got to start from the beginning.
Sorry that I my brain goes there. I feel bad, but it just
Ouch. Ouch.
Can I point it out? That's all.
Yeah.
I just want to point out. If I was listening to this podcast and went to that and no one pointed out, I'd be like, "Oh my god, they totally missed the Clueless reference there." That's all. I don't feel.
What was that character's name?
What?
What was that character's name?
The
That
redhead
said,
girl.
yeah. What was her name?
It's Rebecca.
Amber.
Oh, Rebecca's the one from.
Whatever.
Yeah. Okay. See,
Rude.
well, so you knew what I was talking about. So
Again, thoughts and prayers.
of course, don't get mad at me. You're mad at me. I can.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not
Okay.
mad at you. Oh my god, is this our first fight?
What?
This is our first fight.
It's not a fight.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Shannon and Alyssa got in a Twitter feud last week.
Okay.
Remember, Shan, we tried to tag her in a GIF like before the episode aired last week, and we're like, oh, Shan doesn't have Twitter anymore. Weird. And she got back on Twitter because she wanted to speak to Alyssa or about Alyssa, and they went back and forth. Like it got ugly. It got really ugly.
Like what kind of ugly?
Something along the lines of imagine having such. Do I still have it?
No, don't pull it up. No one wants to hear you read your phone on the podcast.
Yeah, I'm a terrible out loud reader.
Yeah.
Imagine having so much. It was about Xavier.
Okay.
To do this, blah, blah, blah. And then Alyssa was like, imagine quitting Twitter and then getting back on Twitter just to talk to me, Yeah. And then Shan said one thing that I'm not going to repeat, but another thing in regards to Angela about how she can't like feel her face because of like Botox and stuff.
Okay.
Which I thought it was like, it got like,
okay.
Yeah.
That's mean. Be nice.
Yeah.
That's what Twitter is.
And I don't
Twitter's
like, we don't know what happened, but like as an outsider looking in, yikes.
Yeah.
James got married.
Okay.
Congratulations to him.
Congratulations. 'Tis the season.
Moving on to something sad.
No.
Our girl Amanda, who we love,
Mm-hmm.
her father passed away.
Oh,
remember he had lots of health issues. So
yeah,
love you. Thinking about you. Thoughts and prayers.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to something happy.
Okay, finally.
Oh, I've been waiting to tell you this all day.
Okay.
So today is Nani and Casey's 1-year anniversary.
Oh, yay! That is fantastic.
It really is. I'm so happy for them.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
I thought they'd been together longer, but I think they didn't make it official until
no
after
cares.
Challenge
That's
37.
why.
I care. I
Yeah.
love them. I think it's great. I love love. I love love.
Okay. What is their hashtag? Official hashtag anyway? Are they Connie? What are they? Like Canny? What are they?
I don't know. They don't, not to my knowledge, do they have a couple of hashtags?
I was just speculating. I definitely do not know. Yeah.
Caney? Caney's cute.
Let's go on. I don't want to, spend any more time. Happy anniversary to them. Yeah.
Yes, happy anniversary. Danny and Kiki both liked our tweet last week.
Oh, did they? Ah, they're back.
And Kiki.
Hey, Kiki. Yeah.
And Kiki.
Yeah, that's great. This is like good job on ending that tea, because there was a little thing about the tea that got a little dark a few times. Good job on ending with the good stuff.
I got more.
Oh, geez. Okay, please make it good, though.
So I'm reading a book.
Okay. All right. That's the announcement. Here's the tea.
Everyone know.
Here's the
I'm
tea.
reading a book.
Got a book.
No, I actually rediscovered reading this summer. You know, like for so long, like I had to read for like work and school and stuff. So I've been reading for pleasure. I've been doing a lot of the Colleen Hoover, which have been phenomenal, but I decided to switch it up. And I'm reading this book called Not So Meet Cute.
Not so
meet cute. Meet cute.
Okay.
So like a movie, like when characters meet in like a funny way or an interesting way, it's called a meet cute.
Okay.
And on their first date, quote unquote, she loves reality TV, and he says, she's like, I bet you're one of those guys that just like, you do this, and you read a self-help book a week, and you run all this, you do all this. And he goes, yeah, except when a new season of the challenge is on, it takes me 2 weeks to read one of those books.
Oh.
And then he's like, and she's like, CT for life. And he's like, yeah, CT's everything. And she like talks about CT's like Boston accent. And
this is like, what you read about. It takes like 3 pages. They're like CT for life. And you're like, yeah, whatever else.
It was so exciting that this book that was just like recommended to me on like my Kindle.
Yeah.
And like, it's just like a cute, fun, light read. They mentioned the challenge. I was like, it's weird. It's weird. It was awesome. Like I like literally stopped reading and I looked at Charlie and I was like, mention the challenge.
Yeah.
So weird.
CT for life, I guess. Yeah.
Or that's not the exact quote, but it was like something like
I get it. Yeah. They just shared their love for CT. And
I do have to show you a cute picture.
Are you finished with the book?
No, I've got, so on Kindle, it like gives you percents. I've got like 20% left.
Okay. And so they broke up by now, right?
Dude, they haven't even banged yet.
Oh my God. This book.
And it's like, it was like supposed to be spicy, which I've never read a spicy book. And I'm like, just like dying, waiting for them to bang already. I'm like, oh my God, like just do it already.
Let's wrap up our book club though. Yeah.
Jordan got a haircut.
Yeah, he did.
Look at him.
That's good.
Looking good. I am so happy. You know, he had that kind of which was fine, but he looks so good. Also, look at this. Oops, that's my receipt from Costco. Emmy got her braces off. Remember Emmy?
Oh yeah, she looks different. Yeah, she's in her blue hair. Yeah. Did Uncle TJ like it, or Uncle TJ like it? Yeah.
Uncle CT.
Uncle CT. And
not to my knowledge, but he's pretty quiet on the social media. He's pretty quiet on the social media.
He's a movie star, and he's in books now, I guess. So
he's in books
he's a
now.
He's a character in spicy adult novels.
I know.
That take 80%.
Which,
of the
by
time
the way, yeah, like, geez, come on, bang already.
Yeah. I was just saying they're gonna break up. They can do that.
No, spin the build up.
Nicholas Sparks wouldn't even wait this long to get to.
Well, Nicholas Sparks just kills him off.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
Someone's gonna do. Yeah, then you got to rebound in life. But no.
So that's it. That's the news. That's the news.
That's it. That's the challenge for episode 5. We did it.
We did it.
That was a good episode.
I liked it a lot. We're building up. This was probably my favorite so far.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to see what happens next week.
It's only going to get spicier, just like that book. Once we get to 80% of the season, it's going to get spicier.
I can't wait to tell you. I can't wait to tell you.
Yeah. All right.
Well, follow us on Twitter, Final Alliance 1, on Instagram, Final Alliance, on YouTube. We are Final Alliance Podcast. Please subscribe. Love it when you subscribe. Also, comment. Let us know what you think. Tell us if we got it wrong. Usually we do. That's fine. Tell us what you like, what you don't like. And on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts, we are Final Alliance Podcast.
We're out. Let us know who won the episode.